Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a surf shop / diving shop. I would highly recommend that you build this on the beach, as this has a pier which would look really awesome connected into the ocean or a large body of water. And also, leave a comment if you saw where I was hiding in the intro. The light blue concrete grid on the ground represents the amount of space required to make this build. Feel free to build this grid in your world. Along with the starting position, you can see the instructions that you will need to follow along on screen if you want to make the surf shop in the exact same way that I am. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin by placing 2 spruce fence on top of the previously determined start position. 1, 2. Then place a stripped spruce log on top. Then place 2 spruce planks going left. 1, 2. We then want to place a stripped spruce log going left. Continue extending left by placing 5 spruce planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a stripped spruce log on the end, and then connect it down to the ground using spruce fence. Extend this spruce log backwards by 5 using spruce planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a stripped spruce log on the end and join it down to the ground using spruce fence. Left of this log, extending across the back of the build, we want to place 8 upside down spruce stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with a stripped spruce log on the end. We can join this down to the ground using spruce fence, and then we want to extend back to the front using upside down spruce stairs. So on the back and right sides we want to have upside down spruce stairs, and something that we might as well fix now, we want to place vertically facing stripped spruce logs on top of the spruce fence, like this. For this next part, we are simply going to fill the center of the area that we have created in using spruce planks. This is going to be the shop floor. And then we want to take each one of the 4 corners and extend them upwards by 4 using these stripped logs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on and so forth. The right, left, and back sides can be filled in using these stripped spruce logs. With the walls placed, we can now make the entrance. So, to begin, I want to place spruce fence underneath this sideways facing spruce log. I'm going to replace this to a vertically placed spruce log and extend it upwards by 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we are going to place cyan glass extending across the first block from the top, and then cyan glass pane on the right side of the space created, top to bottom. Left of this, we want to place 3 rows of glass block, 1, 2, 3, like this. You can use pane, but I just sort of prefer the glass. Next, we are going to make some of the roof. Begin by placing a row of spruce slabs above and across the front of the build where we have the top of the windows. Then, on the ends of the spruce slab, place spruce stairs, like this. And we may even extend a stair inwards as well, so we'll destroy those end slabs and we'll extend the stair in. And we also want to extend these stairs 1 row back too, just like this. And then we are going to place spruce slabs on top of the two front corners of the build, and extend these slabs in and up and in and up until they eventually reach a natural point of stopping, like this. Shave off the top two slabs in the centre and replace them with back-to-back spruce stairs, like so. We're then going to fill behind this in using dark oak slabs. So I want to literally one row behind the glass. It might be a bit easier to add a row of spruce slabs first on top of the glass and the logs, and then use dark oak slabs to just fill in any gap that remains. So we'll do this extending upwards, and the end result as we look at it should look like this. So that's really good. The next thing that we are going to do is extend these stairs on the side backwards, like this, and we are going to emulate pretty much what we have on the front of the build at this point. So we have these stairs partially wrapped around like this. We'll join them together at the bottom using slabs, and then on the two corners here we will place the spruce slabs, and then we will slowly extend them inwards and upwards. We're going to have to change the structure of the back of the build ever so slightly, but we want to kind of reach the same point where we did on the front, where we have the apex, which we will then change into spruce stairs like this, shave off the logs that we have underneath, and then replace on top of those logs using slabs. And then we will use dark oak slabs like this to fill in any gap that is left, and we will probably just also either leave the top of the surf shop alone, or we will fill the roof / ceiling portion in using dark oak slabs. It's probably better that we just fill it in like this, and that should work out nicely. Then, last but not least, all we have to do is just connect the front and the back of the build together using a mixture of dark oak slabs on the sides, and then when we reach the very top, we can just place dark oak stairs in between the pair of spruce stairs all the way up at the top. So this is going to look really good once it's finished. Next up, we are going to build some of the structure around the shop. So begin by placing a couple of rows of spruce planks extending forwards from the platform that we have created. We want to place stripped spruce logs in 3 places. First of all, here on the right side. Second of all, here on the left side, just opposite the right. You can see that they correspond with the fence underneath the build. And we also want one on the very end here. So we're going to place spruce fence, joining all of these down to the ground, and then we are going to make these face the right way. So we're going to have them face vertically. We want to place upside down spruce stairs in between the left pair. On the right side here, we want to place upside down stairs, joining the end of this little platform to the actual store. And then we are going to place, in total, 7 spruce planks extending forwards from this most right stripped log. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then add another row of spruce inside of this. An additional one here joining back to this log. And then upside down spruce stairs along the side and flaring inwards here towards the end of this pier. And then in the corner, we're going to join this down using spruce fence, like this. That's looking pretty good. Left of the entrance, we're going to place a lantern. This just hangs underneath this little overhang. And speaking of hanging under the overhang, we want to place a row of string. So the row of string, actually thinking about it, has to go around the entire outside of the roof. So if you follow the roof shape along, you should rather easily be able to just place string, and this will set us up a little bit later. There we go. Perfect. So amongst the things that we have to do, we are going to place spruce fence extending... okay, not there. So we have to place spruce fence here on the right side of the store, leading from the entrance just on top of the stripped spruce log. We want to have spruce fence extending along the front of the exposed part of this little pier as well. We also want to place spruce signs in front of specifically the upside down spruce stair blocks. And we actually want to do that on the front, as you can see, and also along the back. The only thing along the back is that we also have to make an entrance back here as well. So place them about halfway along, and then on the back we are going to have a little door. This is right next to the end of this wall. And we want to place a couple of, or probably about 3 spruce planks here, just so that we cover like left and right of the door. The spruce planks will then extend out the side and then all the way forwards like this and sit along the planks. So along the side of this, we want to have a stair, so spruce stair that sits right next to this stripped spruce log. Extend it to the left one. And then we want to place upside down stairs underneath and then forwards and then joining down to the ground. I always find it easiest to place the ground set and then underneath along the back. And then behind these stairs is where it gets a little bit weird. So we want to place a couple of spruce planks. And then behind this, we'll actually want to have a couple of fence extending up from the ground with then a stripped spruce log on top. Upside down spruce stairs extending all the way back, and then in this corner here we will once again want to have stairs on the ground leading up to a stripped spruce log just at the top. Upside down stairs along the back, and then once again the spruce fence meeting up towards a stripped spruce log, and then we'll just join this together at the back using spruce planks. So that was actually kind of perfect with the signs, because we wouldn't be able to place one in this corner. But where we can place signs is along the sides of the platform that we have created, or the decking, whatever you want to call it really. We'll have a spruce store back here. We can even have a sneaky little lantern, and then a spruce fence just around the edge of what we've made, extending all the way forwards until we hit this little stripped log here. So that will be absolutely perfect. So that's looking really good, and yet there is more decoration. So we're going to place spruce signs hanging off of the sides of the top 2 corners of the serve shop. So these signs will sit on the outer corners of the serve shop like this, and that will be on every single side, and it just makes it look a little bit more rustic, I think. And in doing that, what we can now do from here, ladies and gentlemen, is first of all add another row of string to the front of the store specifically. So just extend the pre-existing row 1 row outwards. Then, starting from in front of the store, we can go from these slabs or stair that we have here because it's a bit easier, and pick a colour, either green or red, and place that on top of the string. Then alternate between those 2 colours, extending all the way over to the right, as far as we have placed the string. We also have to extend this string here on the left just outwards by 1. We then want to extend, if we place another string, I must have missed one here on the end, we then want to extend every single one of those colours just 1 row forwards. So, and once again, we missed this little string on the end here. Easy enough to do. So that's perfect. We have a nice little overhang for the store. But we are then going to start extending backwards and around the build as well, and we are going to alternate between the 2 colours that we have chosen. On the back, we only want to overhang... That's a chest! We only want to overhang the back of the build by 1, whereas on the front it's a little bit different because we've kind of got the... we've got all of the pier and the decking that we've created, so there we go, that's perfect. And there we are. So I think it just looks a little nice. I like it on the sides. You might just want to have it on the front, but that's going to be completely up to you. And then on the sides though, I do want to place spruce fence extending down from the side of the roof, just inwards from the two signs that we have. And I want to do that on both the left and right side of the build. It's just a little bit of added detail. It makes it look a little bit structural, and I think that that looks pretty good. On the pier, we are going to have a fake fishing rod. So this is going to be an oak fence, a couple of iron bars on top, next to it, a chest. And if you want to add a little bit of extra added detail, I'm sure that I have some of these blocks in my inventory somewhere, but you can always grab yourself a salmon on exactly saltwater, but you know, we'll have an item frame with a salmon in there, but you could easily put any fish that you wanted to. At least, I hope that salmon aren't now. Can you find salmon in the ocean? I always thought that you'd found them in like rivers and stuff, but I could very easily be wrong about that. But maybe a cod might make more sense. There we go. That's perfect. So that looks pretty good in my opinion. The next couple of things that we want to do involve a little bit of detail using the loom. So we're just going to prepare for that. One set of banners that is specific to the outside is the actual surf sign itself. You might choose not to make this. I'm not sure whether the shop is better with or without it, but I'll let you make the decision. So the sign is made using light blue banners with yellow dye. The first letter in surf is S, so that's a horizontal row of yellow at the top and bottom, with a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner. Next would be U, so that's a vertical row of yellow on the left right with a horizontal across the bottom. Next is R, so that's a vertical row of yellow on the left, horizontal on the top, and then a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner. And last but not least will be F, so that's a vertical row of yellow on the left, horizontal across the top with one straight through the middle. Surf. So surf is to be placed all the way up at the top of the shop. In a perfect world, I would actually kind of like it to be placed like on the glass here, but I don't know if that will look a little bit weird because we would then have to alter this block specifically. So we'd have to place something that the banner would be able to latch onto, and then we wouldn't be able to have the lantern either. But in a perfect world, I think that it'd actually look quite good here if we had something to put it on, but as we don't, S, U, R, F just along the top, and then we can place these blocks as I've made an absolute mess of them, and then a lantern underneath. So it's up to you whether you think that improves it or not. I'm a bit on the fence, I'm going to be honest with you. So the next banner that we have to make is once again specific just to the outside. You could put it on the inside, but it's not really designed for that. This is going to be one of those like life-saving rings. So black banner in the loom with a red dye, vertical row of red on the left side of the banner, put that back in, white dye, horizontal row of white across the top, grab that, put that back in, red dye, vertical row of red on the right side of the banner, grab that, put that back in, white dye, horizontal row of white across the bottom of the banner, grab that, that's the end. Actually, I was going to say put that back in, but this is going to be hung just right next to the pier here, and that would be, of course, in case anybody needed some help. With the majority of the outside of the surf shop made, I now want to focus on the inside. So, the first thing that we are going to do in here is mark out some counter space. To do this, we are going to leave a gap of 1 from the back door that we made earlier and place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 stripped spruce logs extending outwards. On the first block, we're going to place an andesite stairs, and in front of this we are going to place a mixture of red and green carpet. In the corner here, we are going to place an armor stand with a set of netherite armor on it, except for the helmet. This is to kind of look like a wetsuit. Let's put these away and grab the spruce trapdoor. We will actually need that. I guess I'm wearing a wetsuit myself now. Block of copper, item frame, cyan stained glass, some golden boots, flower pot, fern, lantern, and we'll also grab the block of netherite as well. So on this back wall here, we want to create a shelf. It's just a couple of spruce trapdoors. On this left block here, I want to place a block of copper, item frame, and cyan stained glass paint. Now, you got to use your imagination for this, but this is like an old school diving helmet. And next to this, I'm just going to place item frame with golden boots in it, and those can be anything. Use your imagination a little bit. That could be anything from like flippers to, you know, whatever it might be. On the counter here, I want to place a flower pot with a fern in it on the corner and a lantern next to it. In front of the till area here, we want to place a couple of netherite blocks on top of each other, and we just have to shuffle the materials around a little bit. So we'll need tripwire hook, scaffolding, light blue carpet, orange carpet, birch trapdoor, leather, paintings, and we'll just leave it at that for now. So this is meant to sort of look like an oxygen tank. So tripwire hook in front of the top, and I think it sort of looks like that. It might even make more sense to put it all together with the rest of the kind of like scuba gear, but you know, this is a small shop, you put stuff where you can fit it. I guess it would make more sense maybe to move all of this over here, but I don't know. We'll have to see. We might have a bit of a rearrange after. So next to this, we're going to have a couple of little units. So this is going to have some towels and stuff on it, so some light blue carpet and some orange carpet, and the scaffolding, of course, is just to have like stuff stocked on these sort of shelves. Along this back wall, I want to place some, let's grab a solid block. Along this back wall, I want to have a couple of pictures, maybe just like one in the corner here, and then maybe like a double one next to it to kind of occupy the space. I'm specifically looking for the kind of like I'm specifically looking for the beachy, there we go. Beachy looking picture, that is absolutely perfect. So in front of this, I want to have some surfboards. The surfboards are really, really simple to make, and I'm starting to think if I want to have one crowded in this corner here. So these are so tricky to place. You've got to place two trapdoors on top of each other, and okay, there we go, we crawled underneath it, that's perfect. So let me just repair the wall. So in the corner here, a couple of trapdoors stacked on top of each other with a lever in front, and then we want to be able to place another one of these in front of this, so that they're kind of just like piled up next to each other, so like kind of just in front of each other. Like this. I think that's pretty good. And we just have to create the banners that would go on these. But I am really considering putting all of the scuba gear together and perhaps just having a bunch of surfboards behind the counter. I'll examine that at the end, because for now we can come outside a little bit and we can have kind of like a similar decoration. So we can have a couple of birch trapdoors stacked on top of each other, leaving gaps of one, kind of just hung off to the side here, just kind of like propped up in front with the levers in front. And then that leads us on to making some banners. I'm thinking we have a little change of scenery for these banners in particular. So, these are a bunch of surfboards, and you can make these in so many different ways and so many different styles, but I'm giving you kind of like a repeatable style that you can use your own colours for and kind of discern what you like for yourself. So, this is really, really simple. Open a loom. I guess I've got another loom as well. Looms on looms on looms. And put in a colourful banner. So, cyan for example. We then want to add a colour that would complement the cyan, blue, and add a gradient effect to it, like this. So that is not the gradient effect. Where is my mind? There we go, perfect. So a gradient effect. So you might want to go for something a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. It's completely up to you, but add a gradient, put it back in, add a bit of white dye in there, add a stripe straight up the middle, and boom, there you go, you have a surfboard. Orange banner in there, with some yellow dye, add a gradient effect to it, grab that, put that back in, white dye, vertical strip straight up the middle, we have another. Lime banner in here, let's add orange dye, it doesn't necessarily have to be a complementary colour. Grab that, put that back in, white dye in there, strip straight up the middle, or you could have kind of like a stripy pattern, but I think straight up the middle kind of really complements it. Grab that, throw that out. Red banner in there, pink dye, once again, you guys have guessed it, gradient effect, grab that, put that back in, white dye in there, strip straight up the middle. And of course you can do this in so many different ways, but these are just really nice, quick and easy ways to make some. So we're going to hang these off of the tops of the birch trapdoors, like this. You don't actually need the trapdoors, it's just kind of like a nice solid block to kind of attach it to. Spruce or anything else would kind of work as well. It's really up to you. Especially with this texture pack, it looks ever so slightly weird, but you know, like, what can you do? So we're going to place the other two banners on top of the other surfboards that we have in here, and if we do so choose, we can even hide some surfboards just at the back of behind this counter here. I mean, we could even hang them off the wall. That's the thing. So you can hang them just straight off the wall with levers hanging off as well, and I mean that complements it really nicely. You'd probably want to use the opposite ones that you use, like maybe use ones outside again or make some brand new ones, but yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen, for the inside decor of the store. That's actually incorrect, because in the store as well, I would like it if there were a couple of item frames kind of stacked around where we have these carpets. These item frames, I want them to be occupied with either shirts, or we could have banners in here of some variety, so we could make it look like beach towels, etc, just to kind of like illustrate what these blocks are. But I am thinking about having a bit of a shuffle around, but I do also kind of like the fact that it's a bit of a mix and a bit of a mess in here, so you know, do feel free to kind of experiment for yourself. So just two last little bits of detail to help immerse the surf shop into a beach. Add some leaves around where the actual foundation structure of the surf shop is, so anywhere that you kind of like have the fence connecting back to the sand. Add a couple of leaves here and there, hither and thither if you like. That'll look really good. And of course add some water, so the water I'm thinking predominantly in kind of like an abstract shape, maybe two kind of like rectangles connecting together in a weird way. One from the front right corner of the decking area, just underneath like where we have the entrance, extend that out just beyond the pier a little bit, and then another little bit just extending across horizontally, kind of like approaching the steps but not too close to it. And in an ideal world that would also connect into the ocean as well, and that'd be really good. And of course you can also vary the length of the pier to make everything go together, maybe add a boat, a little fishing, who knows, it's completely up to you. But that is that, ladies and gentlemen. That is the tutorial complete. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like the video and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you want to make anything else by me, I highly recommend the City Builds playlist, found at the end screen, in the description below, more than likely linked at the top of the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!